Well, I think it's already begun, and I think more and more people are going to catch on very, very quickly. People are really starting to delve into the commentary on the internet as well as on talk radio. And the government's going bananas because they've had to expedite their program, and it's not working very well for them. And so I think by the time, which would be a couple of years from now, maybe even sooner, we have this hyperinflation and we have a falling dollar. And we have people who outside the United States don't want to buy our paper anymore, treasuries, etc. And then I think it'll start to come to a head. And I'll tell you, woe be anybody that gets in their way, because there's a lot of weapons in America and a lot of people know how to use them. And I wouldn't want to cross swords with them because it's not going to be nice. You know, they're not going to have a job, a home, a car, and they're going to have no way to feed themselves. It's not going to be nice.
Well, I agree with that. I think it's going to get pretty doggone bad. You talk about earlier, you made a comment about stocking up with not only with gold and silver and food and freeze-dried food and water. You need to make sure you got a way to clean your water, ladies and gentlemen. There's several fantastic water filters out there. You need to get one. If you live in the country, you need to make sure you get your well in. I am that I got a minute ago from France says, no, I'm not in France. I'm in Stalingrad. I want you to know that here in Russia, the loan crisis is putting the Russian economy at major risk. Russian bankers are set to seize some rather bizarre goods and services and receive such as collateral for loans. And the National Reserve Bank recently made a loan on 40,400 pigs that were owned by a billionaire so he could get some money, some actual cash money. He needed 1 million rubles, which works out to be about a little over $3 million of American money. Banks in Russia are on the verge of collapsing, and I estimate that bad loans here are going to quadruple. If it happens here, the American people will not understand the revolution that's about to happen in Russia. In Russia, we don't have guns and ammo. We have pitchforks and broom handles.
When your casualty rate is going to be very high.
You can say that again. There's no signs that the demand is picking up, and chief economists are getting on the newspaper, getting on the news, saying in the newspapers and getting on the televisions that they need to stand back, let the government take control, and realize that the government is there to help them out. How ludicrous we could possibly be. We're losing jobs just like you're losing jobs, but the rich seem to be getting richer. Is there any place on this whole planet that's got some sanity?
Well, I think the answer probably is no, but then again, there are places that are more insane than others. And the United States and Europe are running neck and neck, and that includes Eastern Europe and Russia as well. There are places, though, that don't have a multitude of problems, particularly in Central and South America and Mexico. People have paid cash for their homes. Less than 1% have a mortgage of any kind. And so you don't get the big down drop in an economy like you'd get in the United States or in England or on the continent. Although on the continent, many people do pay 30, 40, and 50% down in their homes, and that's very helpful. But I think the worst problems are going to come from the more advanced nations. I mean, even Japan is in terrible condition and has been since 1990. I mean, the stock market went from 42,000 down to 4,500. And they've been in a depression since 1992. What is that? 18 years. But nobody wants to call it that, but that's what it is. I mean, they've had zero interest rates for years and years. So there's trouble all over the world, but it varies from place to place. And of course, there could be trouble in the future, we'll say in the third world that produces inexpensive goods like China or Latin America or Asia. And the reason why is if there's economic problems in Europe and the United States, they're not going to sell as many things to those areas. And if they can't do that, then they're going to have recession and violence as well. And so what's happening in America and Europe, particularly in America, is going to affect the entire world. There's not going to be any decoupling. No one's going to get out of this thing easy. Some will suffer more than others. But there's countries that on a scale of 10, their suffering may be 2, while the Americans and the Europeans and the British are 10. Or maybe it'll be 4. But the point is that it's going to be varying degrees.
Mr. Chairman, my governor announced yesterday that 23,000 jobs were saved in Massachusetts. If Kennedy were still alive, they'd have probably credited it to him. But our governor is saying that he got $4 billion from the $7 billion stimulus package. They claim that it has helped save 23,000 jobs or bring forth 23,000 jobs. Mr. Chapman, this is the biggest lie I've ever seen. The summer months, all of my 3 children that normally have jobs or places to go work, even picking up and splattering down hamburgers. The jobs were taken by older people that are trying to supplement their income. Even the local Walmart has got people working in and behind the counter at the food counter that are old enough to be my grandmother. My daughter came in yesterday from the McDonald's, and she says that everybody that's working at McDonald's is over 65. Mr. Chapman, I don't know where they get the idea that they've got jobs out there. Slinging hamburgers and hash, to me, is not a job. What's your attitude?
Well, you're absolutely right. And, one of the great crimes of our time is the American and European society junking their most valuable people to bring younger people in at a cheaper rate of pay. And, here you have people who have worked their entire lifetime. And for personal experience, my more productive years were between, I would say, 50 and 75. And there's a lot of people out there who are extraordinarily talented and experienced that could really help our economy, but they won't hire them. They'll hire them at McDonald's, which is crazy. But that's the way it is, because old people have large medical bills and things like that, and that's why companies don't want to hire them.
Well, that's our show for today, Mr. Chapman. You're going to be able to be back with us next week?
Sure will.
I heard that, and I want to tell you that I heard the echo from the room, so and all the workers back there, so we know there's something moving. So anyway, if there's anything we can do for you, you get in touch with us and tell Judy to make sure she knows where that 9th hole is.
Okay, I will. Bye-bye.
God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Bob Chapman, internationalforecaster.com. And he is heard live around the world on many shows during the week. You can go to my website and find all the links. We'll be back in 5 minutes with a Marines Disquisition.